there. And so this is a Northeast Ship Model Conference from October 2nd, which was last Saturday. So good event held in New London, Connecticut. It was hosted by the Constitution Model Shipwrights Club up there, and they did an excellent job. So it's a good conference. It's held once a year, and I think Tom Ruggiero had mentioned a lot about the structure of it earlier in the conference. But this is what we had on display. There were lots of tables. I've never seen it this packed in the banquet hall, but I think they had 7 tables of models, and it was just really nice models that were on display, all types. And you'll see they had lots of scales. There's Gene's United States, his PT boat's right in front of that, but another view of the room. This is a vendor that was selling a lot of kits. He had other supplies there, and this vendor has been there before and has supported us really well. This is Chuck Passaro's table, and he's got his Winchelsea right here that in the forefront, and a beautiful model. You'll see it later, but he's on the other end there standing up. He's got his wife and son there working, selling his blocks and ropes, and he's got a new line of blocks and dead eyes that are CNC cut, and they are really nice. I bought some for my longboat, the little 148. Blue Jacket was there, and here is their Charles Morgan cross section that they have. That is huge, and I've seen this model. It's been up there for probably the last 5 years, but I have yet to see anybody build one of those models. And I don't know if it's because it's so large or whether it's just that people don't transport it once they do build it. But he had also up there his USS Perry, and there was a kit given at a raffle, and Eric Marshall from the Ship Model Society of New Jersey won that kit. And so we hope to see him build that. This is their Blue Jacket USS Kid kit that they have. Really nice model, builds up really nice. This is a kit that they are working on. It's being designed, and it said it will be available next summer. It's the USS Oregon. They had already released 2 of the ships from the Spanish-American War, the Maine and the Olympia, and so this will be the 3rd one. This one will not be a limited production run, where the Maine was limited to 100 kits and the Olympia was 200 kits. But he has Al Ross, a designer, has a Facebook page, and it really it goes into the design of the model, but hopefully it will be a nice seller for Nick up at Blue Jacket. And this is Chuck Passaro. He gave a demonstration on making rope, and boy, he makes it look simple. I mean, he can make 25 feet of rope in less than 8 minutes. And it took a little bit longer in the demonstration because he was talking, but he showed how easy it is to make it. And this is the other end. He's, I think, fielding a question there, but he actually laser cuts and produces the rope warp that you're looking at, and it can be purchased. And I've seen some others that have made rope on model ship world, and they really make some nice looking rope. It's but he just shows how easy it is to do. But here we get into the models now. This is a Boston Steam, the Boston Typhoon with the steam trawler. It's a nice model. And this was a big model. Bill Strahan builds big models. This is a little tugboat, 1 to 50th scale. And if I go too fast, let me know. If I'm going too slow, let me know. If you got questions, I'll be glad to stop. This is the 21-foot English pinnace, and that's 1/24 scale. It's a kit designed by Chuck Passaro, and it is manufactured by Model Shipways, and that built into a really nice model there. And this one right here, I was really impressed with this kit. David Antherschel has introduced a series of 3 kits to get people started in ship modeling. And this is the first kit in the series. It's a little Grand Bank Story. It's a 1/24 scale model. It's really, you know, for somebody who's never built a wooden ship model, this one is ideal to get into it. And is each, like the second model in this series and the third model, they get harder as you go and introduce you to more of the ship modeling techniques and things. And but this right here is ideal for a beginner. I recommend it to anybody who doesn't have an idea as to how a wooden ship model is built. It's a very reasonably cost kit, and it can be purchased from model shipways. But this one turned out, this just goes to show that somebody can take a simple kit and really turn it into a nice looking model. This was a submarine, you know, the Agato class 148 scale submarine. A lot of weathering done on it. You'll see on the deck, you know, this guy, you know, did a lot of weather. It's pretty, this one definitely needs a paint job, but it's, yes, it was huge.
I think it was an RC kit too, wasn't it?
It looked similar. I mean, is this as big as yours, or yours are bigger, aren't you?
Well, it's a smaller scale, but the way it was constructed, it looks like it was designed to
BRC?
to open up, so there must have been RC.
Mm-hmm. Nice job on it. This is
It's a kit, Ryland? That submarine?
It is a kit. I don't know.
Okay.
We're trying to figure out, but it's you know, 148 scale.
Yeah, I thought Revell made a 148 scale Gato.
Oh, that's 1/72.
Yes, but this is really nice, and it doesn't tell you, you know, if it's a kit. I know the IPMS shows you write down if it's a kit and who the manufacturer is. So but at this show, it does not do that. This, I think, was a scratch-built crane barge. Nice work. Rich Forst from, he's with the Ship Model Society in New Jersey. This is a Kate Corey. Really nice job, and I was impressed with the whale boat that he did the work on that. Really detailed it out nicely. Really a nice kit. This is a skillet goalie. It's a nice fishing boat. And this is from, this model of this Carrick is from Ola Bachvarov. She's a Ukrainian girl that's on model ship, a lady, I guess, on model shipways and model ship world. And she produces a lot of YouTube videos, and her videos are really good. And she's an excellent photographer. And I will send everybody here a link to some of her pictures, but she was there taking pictures. She just flew in from the Ukraine the Friday night before the Saturday show. And so she was able to make the show, but she does ship modeling, you know, internationally, I guess you would say, but she does excellent work, and she always posts YouTube videos of her work and the construction sequences. She makes it look simple. This is Ron Nielsen's the Tigre, and that is Ron is a NRG director, and he does a lot in writing articles about making water. I think he did a series on that, but he's really I mean, this is really realistic looking. You can see the dolphins up in the front right here, but beautiful model, beautiful display. This is a 1/32 scale model of a sailboat, Zephyr. And this was a 4-mast, well, actually 5-masted model. It's, you see all different scales there. I mean, that 1 to 159th.
1 to 159.
Yeah, it's
168 and a half.
it's you know, different scales, but This Elsie was a nice looking model there in 196 scale. And yeah, this is, it's a ship in a bottle and very nice. I'm not a photographer. I wish I could take better pictures, but this is just a point and shoot camera.
Was the boat scaled to the jug?
It's a weird scale, so it may be.
204 scale jug.
And this one is 1 to 216th scale. But he had two of the ships in the bottles and really nice jobs. I mean, the detail on them, it's really amazing. This was a USS Monitor. It was a card model, made out of paper, and it has a detailed interior, and there was a mirror in the back where it was really hard to take a picture of, but you couldn't see the top part. But he detailed out the top portion. And it really turned out nice. Some of these card models, and even if you look at Dave Becker standing in the ship modeling booth, it's just amazing work that can be done with card. This is HMS Leopard, and it was the one that won the Jim Roberts Award for the. It was a judged competition there, the only judged competition in the show. And this one won first place and received the Jim Roberts Award. Beautiful model. It's all detailed below decks. I wish I'd gotten a close shot of down inside, but it really was a nice looking model, and it really and it also won the people that come into the People's Choice Award. It also won first place in the sale category for the People's Choice. So it really a lot of detail on this model.
Was it electrified, Ryland?
It must have been lights under there. I'd be honest, I didn't look at it as close as I should have, but I see with the batteries right here. What was that, Tom?
There were lights, and there were lights, and the stern lanterns had LEDs in them as well.
Very nice. And that's 1 to 185th scales. It's like I said, scales all over the place. This is a nice looking little fishing boat, a little diorama of it being in the shipyard, I guess, having some work done on it, the ladder. And of course, it looks like they're doing some planking here or something, but very nice model. This was a 196 scale one panel hog. Here's some, this is like 3 models of some of these British protective cruisers. This one here is mounted on water. It's also a work in progress, and it's not finished, but this one behind it looks just like it. So I don't know, there must be some models in that same class. This was the little cabin cruiser that was really nice. The name of it was I don't, that's an odd name for a name of a cruiser. Now this one I really liked. It's the Imperial Steamboat Dagmar. This was done by a guy, I don't know if he was from Russia or the Ukraine. Very friendly guy. I stood there and talked to him for a long time. This is a
he's from New York. He's from Brooklyn, and he was a member of the Shipmasters Society in New Jersey. He went to New York Maritime, SUNY Maritime.
Okay, Dimitri. Okay,
Dimitri. Yeah.
I like this model, and I went online and looked at it. And Model Shipways or Model Expo, they sell this kit. It's a kit, and they want $175 with 40% off. I think it sells for normally $259. Then I found that on Crafty Sailor, which I just had purchased some hooks from them, and they want $99 for it, but it's a really nice kit, 148 scale. It's, you know, just but double the length of the little longboat up front here, maybe just 1.5 times as long, but it builds into a nice model. And I had to take a little close up of the steam plant, and it really, you know, just a really nice kit. So if anybody wants a small kit to build, get with me and I'll direct you to where you can get a good deal on this model. And it's the manufacturer is Falconet, which I think is a Russian ship model producer. Really nice model. And I think he said he used microscope slides for the glass for the windows here. This is another model that he built. He said that was a kit too, but I couldn't find this one on the internet. But again, that's a small model. You know, this one, you know, a little bit bigger. But here is a scene that really Bill Strahan had done. It's the stern wheeler J.C. Kerr that he really did a lot of detail. I think I've seen this model before, but I think it was just a model itself. Now he's put it more into a diorama. Here you got the coal barge along the side of the boat unloading coal, and you got the workers here, and a lot of detail on it. And that's a close-up of the coal barge. And there's, I guess, the captain and somebody else standing around watching what's going on. But these little dioramas that some of these guys do are really amazing. This one right here, I had to take this picture because I want you to see, here's the, somebody's getting delivered, you know, rest in peace. You know, they get their last ride on a steamboat, I guess, but really nice model. I mean, you know, it's detailed out really, really good. And, you know, this is also behind glass. That's where a lot of the pictures are kind of messed up. When they got glass around them, it's hard for the cameras to focus. This is the USS Langley. I've seen a couple of models. Unfortunately, the glass picked a reflection up of the carpet, but this one was very nicely done. And you know, I've seen one being built on Model Ship World, and it's really, you can buy a photo etch packet, and it just details all everything on the model. I mean, from the stairwells to the railings and these iron structure under here, the photo etch parts really make this model pop out. You can get the wooden deck also. And this Mike Zimmerman also built this model of the HMS Furious. Very nice model. And Tom Ruggiero, who's online right here with us, this is his HMS Liverpool. And very nice model. It garnered a lot of votes in the competition. Tom, did you finish in the competition? I heard there were some, you may be off.
Yeah, they miscounted the ballots. That was actually Gene Berger's award, not mine.
Okay.
It's interesting that they tried to award a plaque, and I don't know of the power for this. So
Yeah, this is a sale powered. So but you know, if you look at the sales, I mean, you know, Tom has done demonstrations on sails and sail making, and you know, this is what it looks like on his model. He's got them furled down below and then full sails up here. Nice model. I mean, you've got to see it in person to really appreciate it. Pictures don't do it justice.
What's the fabric, Tom?
it's 1:96. You guys have the sail making presentation. It's probably on your website.
Yes, it is. The material was model span or silk span paper. It's a silky paper that they use to cover. Use it to cover the wings of an airplane.
Blue jacket,
You're breaking up, Tom.
man.
Sorry.
Blue jacket
Blue jacket.
markets it as model span.
Model span.
Yeah, from Blue Jacket.
Okay, I've got some silk spans.
Yeah, it's, I used to make them, cover the wings with a model, airplane. Yeah, and then you painted it with a dope. That was my favorite part.
An alien.
Yeah, I love that smell. Here's Gene Berger's Sub Chaser that really, I like this model. I mean, I think, and a lot of other people did too. I mean, it was always a crowd around Gene's work. There's some detail of the sailors, and I believe these are 3D printed, aren't they, Gene?
Yeah, the figures are.
Yeah.
From the Shapeways.
Yeah, and they come unpainted. So this is all Gene's work on detailing them out.
See anyone using the QR codes or not?
I talked a few people into it. They haven't caught on yet.
And this is another close up. The thing about Gene's models is that they come alive. I mean, here you got a guy that's he's questioning something. You see him scratching the back of his head, and I don't know, this other guy looks like he's kneeling on something. I guess he's got his foot on something here, but like I said, they come to life. But you can see the detail in his models. And here's the back of the Sub Chaser. If you look right here, you got a gull sitting on the tail section of the little boat. And what do gulls do? They kind of mess it up here, You got, I mean, it's so much detail that it had to be pointed out to me because it was just, I'm looking at everything, and it's little things like this that really make Gene's models pop. It really does. And this is, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that, but I guess it's just Taipei. Yeah, it's a Japanese submarine. And this is a Kendall Campbell. This is the ship that Gene modeled, the one that his father-in-law served on. Beautiful model. It won first place in the People's Choice Award for the powered class. Just a beautiful model. There's some more detail. Everybody knows Gene's work, and I'm glad he was able to showcase his work up there in Connecticut, because a lot of people saw it, and I'm sure his website's gonna get a lot of hits on it. So we move on to the United States. Now, this is one model that I couldn't get get the whole model in one picture. It's so long, but he's got this is the bow portion, and he's got a tug there. That in itself is a nice model right here. But this garnered a lot of attention too. Beautiful model. There's Gene standing there talking with somebody. And, if many of y'all have seen this model, and it's just, like I say, his models come to life. If you look around, you see conversations going on, you see people sleeping. It's just, every one of these figures is doing something else. It's just really, a lively looking scene. Here is this 80-foot Elco torpedo boat. And I believe this started out as a radio control boat. And from what I went to the website and was reading about the construction of it, and I think it's been rebuilt 3 different times. So beautiful model. Again, it's large scale, 1 to 1/16. It's pretty large.
I know.
Like
Okay.
we lost like 17-1.
But you played well. That's good.
Well, 17-1.
Another shot of the cabin of the PT boat.
17-1.
And if you get a chance, go to his website and just see how he constructed all this. With it's, I'm sure the technology over the years has changed on this as far as the materials he used to work with this. Okay, another shot of the deck. And here's a Nice little boat that somebody built. It's got a figure sitting in there, and I always like to see figures on models. There's one up front releasing a dove. This is a James Carrad. And this apparently, I'm wondering if this is an ice boat.
No.
Yeah.
When Shackleton was stuck on the ice.
Oh, yeah.
at the South Pole, converted one of the lifeboats into this,
Okay,
and he sailed all the way from the South Pole. to
across the
South
ice.
Georgia Islands, 600 miles. And then he ended up on the wrong side of the island,
Oh,
couldn't turn around, and he went all over the mountains to get to the whaling station.
this,
That's what that was.
yeah, nice, interesting story. But this guy did a nice,
It's a nice one.
yeah, even with the figure there is dressed appropriately for that particular weather. And this is a, a New Bedford whale boat. I know that there is a kit of this, but I don't know if this is it or not. But
Yeah, probably is.
yeah, 1/16 scale is pretty large.
The kit is 116.
Yeah, and then that's probably the kit, but this one turned out really well. It was kind of hard sometimes to photograph these in a case, but kind of gives you an idea of the model. A Baltimore Clipper. A log canoe, which we've seen some of those here in, that we've been looking at. Here's Charles Morgan. And here's another one from Ola Bachfarov. This was the Glad Tidings Pinky Schooner, a model shipways kit that she really did a good job on. And another James card model. And this was in a different scale. So I thought that was odd. This is in 1/21 scale. The other one was 1/24. And this guy, he builds in odd scales. This is 1/22 scale. And here was an HMS Bounty. Here's a half hull mounted. Very nice job. This was a large scale cutter that it's work in progress, but the guy's working on it. So nice looking model. Here's a monitor that apparently it's an older model because it was entered in by, I think, the guy's son. And this was his son, and I don't know if it was in his son, but the battleship of the Yorktown, I mean the carrier Yorktown. And this is the Philadelphia, which, the gunboat Philadelphia, which builds into another nice model. Nice picture there. The Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. This is a card model done up really nice. I mean, not only is it card, but it's got a nice base, the water and all that is setting in. And he also did another card model of the Cass and Young. And this is Tom Lawyer. If y'all are familiar with him, he also has a website, well, YouTube videos on different modeling techniques. And this is a nice whaleboat that he did, 1/32 scale. And a little cat boat. But Tom does really nice work, and if you get a chance, check out his YouTube site because he does stuff on rigging blocks, making blocks, painting models, all kinds of details. And this is a Surprise, HMS Surprise that Ed Lee from the Philly Club is building. Another model by Ed. The Agate. whaling boat. And this was a small whaling boat that they said didn't go out for the long cruises like the Morgan or some of the other larger whale boats did, but it kind of like just went offshore and hunted locally and then would come back. But you know, you even got a model of the whale there. And Joe Jordan from the Philly Club did the tugboat Seguin. This guy right here is Andy Small, runs Train Troll, and he has a lot of does a lot of laser cutting and has little mini kits for model railroading. And this was a model he enters. And this is another scratch built model of a barge, and it had another little barge attached to it. This is a Saratoga aircraft carrier. This guy, Rick Aberson, does good model, good work. USS New York. And here's another model of the Langley, which we had seen earlier. He did a really good job on this. It builds into a really nice model. Did the PT boat, which was in 1 to 96 scale. And this guy, Fred Curson, I consider his work to be art. He'll take a kit and throw all the wood away and build it with balsa wood, replaces all the kit wood with balsa. And his work is unique. So I guess it's really artsy. And that's a close up of the other. I mean, you can still see the lifts in, but he builds a lot of models and always participates in the show. And little Indian Girl canoe. Okay, this is my longboat that I finished.
Did you say that again?
It is finished, yes. I actually see the trunk of the car, but I couldn't bring it in because I left it staying at home. Or you know, it's no way to really display it. It's all boxed up, and so I'll bring it another time. But it's 1/24 scale. Kits by Chuck Passaro for his Siren Ship Model Company. And that's my little longboat. That's you know, I need to get back to work on that. It's you know, if I knew I was going to have built the Medway, I would have painted this one identical so that I have had them, I would have modeled them the same. But and this is Chuck Passaro's. He had built the Queen Anne barge, which will probably be my next kit that I build, because I like the you know, to carve all this stuff. He has the carving blanks, and I've already carved the crown right here, but I want to get involved in carving all of this right here. So that's something I want to try. This is Chuck's Medway longboat, and looks very similar to the one that I built. The only difference is he has sails on this, and the sails were made by Tom Ruggiero using the silk span. So Tom, he was pretty brave in modifying Chuck's model to put those sails on, because Chuck does excellent work, and Chuck was also very trusting of Tom to let him do that on his model. But it turned it really nice looking with the sails. It just a different way to display with sails. This is Chuck's Winchelsea. It you know, beautiful model. If you look real close, you can see the carvings he's done across the back. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. Chuck, I believe these were CNC carved, and it's just amazing. And I think he took the carvings, and then he also is getting resin carvings made out of this. This one right here. Now Chuck's is done in yellow cedar, Alaskan yellow cedar. And this is one that was done by Rusty Jones. And this one is done using Swiss pear. And there's Rusty's. You can see that he got the carvings also, but that can be obtained through Siren Ship Model Company. On their website, you can get all of this. And I had to close with there were two brothers up there, 10 and 11 years old. And they were showcased at the banquet as being one of them had a birthday. He's I think turned 11, and they are members of the Constitution Model Shipwrights. And so they're getting into modeling. I talked to the mother. She said they love ships, and so they did some really nice work. But there's two brothers and be future ship modelers.
I'm gonna qualify that. Not exactly nice work, but it's good for that.
For 10 and 11-year-old,
Maybe great for 11.
yeah. So that's the brothers, and that's it. Any questions?
That exhausted.
The what?
That exhausted.
Oh, yeah, going up there, and it was quite, but I mean, we had a ball. I mean, we went out Friday night. Gene and a group of us, it was like, I guess 14 of us went out. Our wives were with us and went to a nice restaurant at Mystic Seaport, and it really a nice trip. I mean, Gene can tell you, you ran into a bunch of
Except for
nice
the
people.
drive around New York.
Yeah. Yeah, he was 60, 70 miles away, and it took you 4 hours to do that. And when I left, I somehow wound up going across the accident by going back across the George Washington Bridge, and I got hung up into it. So, I'm riding along and I won't pay attention. And all of a sudden I'm in a toll booth, $18. I thought, what?
I-52 is a trailer.
52 for the trail.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it was a fun trip. Good show, and looking forward. They'll have one in April. I think it's already set for the last weekend in April, and I'll be back. I've been going since 2010, and Hines and Henry have been also, and I think Dave Chomo's been up here. But good show. Okay, Skipper, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, well, I think we're all done, unless there's any closing comments from anyone else.
Does this get all posted on the website?
It does, yep. Yeah, I'll go ahead and show that.
Braylon,
Yes.
once again, that name of the company that sells real cheap, about that one for $99.
Falcon. Okay, I'll Crafty Sailor. I had been tempted for $99 to buy that model, but I got too much of an inventory to be adding to it. I mean, it'll wind up in the auction in a few years. All right, guys.
I have something that may be of interest to folks, if you don't mind.
Yes, John.
Okay, I'm gonna have to scoot out here because I have an obligation on the south side, but the 11th of next month is gonna be Veterans Day. I'm past secretary of the Hampton Roads Council of Veterans Organization. We have the VFW and the DAV and all the rest of them are part of that organization. We put on a Veterans Day parade down in Virginia Beach. We've not been able to do it for the past 2 years. We're trying to stand it up. We're down on Atlantic Avenue and 19th Street. Coming up, it's about an hour and a half parade. In the past, we've really had a really good time down there with it. It's all about the veterans. There's no cost or anything. We put it up and have just a great time. So if you're down on the south side on Thursday, 11th of November, come on down to Atlantic Avenue, down there by the convention center, and watch the parade and have a good time. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Thanks, John.
Well, I just mandated that smoke is on the agenda. So I think that's what we're going to assemble.
To answer the question about where these get, the meeting recordings get posted, under calendar, past events, meetings. And then there's one entry for each recording that we have. I've yet to post this one. So
Oh,
if you click on, when I remember to stop and start recordings, or even to start them to begin with, they're broken into sections. So you'll have one video for business, one for show and tell, one for presentation. That's that.
Very nice.
All right, hey, thanks for attending, whether you're online or you're here in person. See you in a month.
You guys online, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Great meeting. Be well.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I'll probably see some of y'all at some of the other meetings coming up this month. Morton, I'll see you at the end of the month.
Yes, sir.